Hi everyone, Paul Sam. Welcome to, well, it's a bench update, just a little bit different. I'll be back later in the week with a proper bench update I'm actually working on. What I'm going to do today, I've seen a few of the guys, Ivan, Northern Modeler, and Tim, Tim's Desk London, both did bench tours. Now, I've done a tour of the cave before, I'm not going to bore you with that again because you've seen it many times. And I've very quickly gone around what's on my bench and the drawers, but I've never really elaborated on the tools I use, why I use them, etc, etc. Now, Ivan did a video, Tim did a video, and Steve Shed Scale Models did one as well, basically showing the tools they use, the reasons why, and so on and so forth. I thought, you know what, that's a good idea. I've never really done it. I get asked all the time what my favourite paints are, tools are, cutters, on and on and on. And I thought, if I put it in the video, maybe it'll answer a few questions. And it's Sunday morning, I had half an hour to kill, so I thought I'll make a very quick video. So that's it. So we'll start with a quick tour of the bench. I look at my tools, the layout, the setup. I'm not going to go around the whole thing because that's not what this is. I'll have a look at the spray booth and just along the bench, what's there. A quick look in the drawers, the supplies are at hand, and we'll go through all the tools, airbrushes, so on and so forth. So there you go. Okay, first off, let's look at all the equipment I use. I get asked all the time, what editing software do I use, what cameras do I use, what camera do I use, what webcam do I use? So here's the answer in one easy answer. So for all day-to-day stuff, I've got a MacBook Pro. This is 2013, model is 4 years old, hasn't missed a beat in that day. It's got a good upgraded RAM. It's a fantastic tool, and iMovie, you couldn't want anything more as an editing software at all. Absolutely fantastic. A lot of people are going to knock Mac, and I probably get comments left, and I don't care. I'm a big Apple fan. Yeah, a bit of a fanboy. Don't really care. But the Mac, absolutely fantastic. Does everything I want it to. Runs the Hangouts, runs the live shows, edits the forum, edits the Facebook page. iMovie is just excellent as an editing software, and I love it. So not cheap. They aren't cheap at all. Like I said, 4 years old this, and it still runs as good as the day I bought it. I'd have been through 2 laptops by now, so it kind of equates out. But I do love this. It's one of my favourite things I own, and it gets used immensely throughout the day. Absolutely immense. Next up, let me see, iPad. Love the iPad. This gets used again when I'm not using the Mac. I'm on the iPad as well. It's the iPad Mini. Again, this gets used on the show as well. It's sat at the side open. It's got the live chat feeding away, and I've got the current chat that I'm reading on the Mac. So keep an eye on what's being posted and have a look. And again, when I go in the house, the Mac stays near. This comes with me. And my phone, iPhone 6, well used, absolutely well and truly hammered beyond belief. And I use that for when I'm out and about, obviously editing the forum, etc. And taking pictures, any day-to-day pictures, I use my iPhone 6. It takes great pictures. Really can't fault the cameras on the smartphones nowadays. And yeah, again, big Apple fanboy. Apple Watch as well. Don't really care. If you don't like it, jog on and move along. Cameras, right, we're on one now. I've got 3 of these in total. They're 3 JVC Everos, and they are the, let me remember the number. The GZHM 445BEK. It's an older camera. I've had one of these now for, my God, it's going to be nearly 6 years old now, one of these. I can't remember which one it is, but it's one of them. Paid 300 quid for the first one, paid 70 quid for the second one, and about 50 for the third. Got them second hand. All the videos I use, all different camera angles you see, is done on these. So I've got these 2, and there's one putting overhead right now. Excellent cameras. Can't fault them at all. Absolutely superb. That's it. They're my cameras. So they are JVC Everos. They're an older camera, but I love them. Absolutely love them. Fantastic. For the live broadcasts, hangouts, and the intros, when you see a face-to-camera piece off me, it's filmed off the Mac. It's a Logitech C920 1080p webcam. I've got 2 of these for the live show. One's overhead, one's on me, and these are awesome. You can get these on offer quite often on Amazon. They go down to 50 quid sometimes, and it's one of the best webcams you can get without a shadow of a doubt. So there's 2 of these, the other one's over there, and you've just seen my face-to-camera bit on this one. So there's that as well. And then my good pictures, I say, when I finished a project or anything needs a decent picture, I've got my Lumix Panasonic, which I love. It's a bridge camera, so it's not DSLR, it's not a point and shoot, although it is. But it's got plenty of adjustability. You can really change quite a lot of the settings. And it is a fantastic bit of kit. I've had this for a couple of years now, and I really do love it. I just love the adjustability of the bridge cameras and the function of just being a point and shoot. It's not too heavy, it's not too big, and it's great. Very good camera. I do like the Panasonic Lumix range of cameras. Did have a little point and shoot, but my iPhone was better than it. And I did have a DSLR, and me being me, I couldn't use it. My phone was taking better pictures, so I thought this is better for me. I'm a bit of a numpty with cameras, so that's what I use. So that's it. So that's all the equipment. So first off, where do I sit? Well, I spend a lot of hours in here through the day. I've had numerous chairs. I've got some back, shoulder issues, so being comfortable is important. So my fat behind sits on that DX Racer chair right there. It's the tank model. It's for heavy people. Hey, obviously. It's not a cheap chair at all. I think that thing was 480 quid. But it's superbly comfortable. No back pain at all. Fully adjustable. All over the place. Height. You can recline right back in it. It's just a wonderful, wonderful chair. Money well spent. And absolutely sublime to sit in. A lot of money, I know. But hey, you get what you pay for at the end of the day. Now, if I sit down. Oh, excuse me. And we'll have a look at my bench. So, this is where I sit. I have a slow pan around. As you can see, it's getting nice and tidy. All the way around to there. My supplies are there. My spray booths over there. My paints. All around there. Like I said, I'm not going to go around the whole thing, because this is just literally the bench. I'm going to show you what's on the bench and around me. All my RC stuff there, my couple of boats, my Pibber patrol boat, Pro Boat speedboat, my Hyper VSE, my Traxxas Slash, my Traxxas Stampede, my Lego Star Wars, and a few other bits and bobs. Got some collector series stuff over there. My oils, my oil brushes, all my day-to-day tools, my water pot, which has got UMP cleaner in it. Up the top there we got pigments, weathering products, more weathering products in the corner, ACAM paints, we've got Vallejo model colour over there, we've got Tamiya paints, Badger paints, Mission model paints, MRPs, Citadels. Behind me we've got my TV and bar and my drink and my little Father's Day card for my little boy. So there's my bar. We've got books. We have more books, and my display case, which I showed you a while back as well. So that's what I see when I spin around. My stash is all over the place. As you can see, there's a lot of 32nd scale stuff. Bits and bobs up there. A current work in progress. My fan, my Gullo's Hellcat, which is hanging on the ceiling out of the way at the minute, because this is waiting to go on James's ceiling. Got my bikes up there. As you can see, some cars. My CCTV. Planes, bits and bobs, and like I say, spray booth. So we'll get to that in a minute. Have a look over there. Got my extra acrylics paints over there. All my metal paints are there. So the Alclads, Extreme Metals, so on and so forth. My Mr. Hobby Aqueous, my Acans. Like I say, various weathering products, and over in the corner, weathering products too. Now, on the bench itself, like I say, they're my day-to-day tools. We'll go through those in a minute. Got my work area, which is nice and clean and open, as you can see. It is on camera quite a lot, so I do keep it clean, and I do work, so it does get used. Over there we've got some UMP products. Then we've got thinner cleaner, cellulose thinner, water, odorless mineral spirits. We've got some acetone, some measuring cups, some tubs, cotton buds, cocktail sticks, and the bungs out of our airbrush cleaner. And they're the bungs out of our burnisher fluid. Absolutely fantastic for putting liquids in, glues and etc. Very, very handy. Up the top here we've got some little bits and bobs. We've got UMP washes, UMP primers, and the ISM pen. Woohoo! Cuddly toy. We've got the glues I use, so all the Tamiya glues, some Revel glue as well. The CA glues I use. So we've got the Panaline accent colour used on my bikes. Sprue glue. I didn't invent that. I think Mark invented that. Tamiya Thin extra, the quick drying stuff. We've got the normal Tamiya Thin and the white Tamiya Cement. So that white Tamiya Cement can cause a bit of confusion with guys overseas. For you guys in Oz and the USA, I think your equivalent of that is the orange lidded stuff. I've no idea it's different for you guys and us at all. Absolutely no idea. CA glues, this is the Deluxe Materials Rocket. So I've got the Max, Rapid and Hot. We've also got the Glue and Glaze from Deluxe Materials, some Super Glue Debonder from Bob Smith. We've got Tamiya CA Glue Accelerator in a brush form. We've got Zap Zip Kicker in a spray. We've got my Tamiya masking tapes in the dispensers. All the Azu tape, Tamiya, etc. Jammy Dog up there. The ultra thin tapes. We've got Mr. Hobby, Mr. Surfacer guns, as well as some thinned out Bondo in the red bottle, some MRP putty in the corner, and some UV activated Tamiya putty as well. All important torch for finding bits on the floor, and one of my favourite new things that was shown to me by Matt McDougall, the transparent white oil paints. Fantastic. SD cards are there, and like I say, we move on to pigments from MIG, so on and so forth. My oils, my Death Star lamp, you can't really see it because the light's on. Oil brushes in the stand, which I finally got at last. And onto paints. We'll get to paints at the end. Like I say, onto my I love Lego. Who doesn't love Lego? Star Wars. We've got the new Snowspeeder that's out not long ago. A Y-wing, Boba Fett Slave 1. A few little bits and bobs over there as well. Knickknacks. And like I say, further around all the RC stuff. So, we'll have a look at all those tools in a minute, because they're what I use day to day. It's quite often what I get asked about. We'll just have a quick look in the drawer. So, to my immediate left, looks a bit of a mess, and it is really. Got clamps all here, loads of clamps, pegs, clips, you name it, they're over there. My small shop tools, bending tool, all my RP tools, punch sets. There's 4 in there, all the different shapes and sizes. The form roller, we've got various tweezers, tapes, scribing tapes, clamps, everything in there, drill bits, blades. You name it, it's in there. These are basically all my sundries and ancillary components I don't use every day. Next one down is even messier. So we've got watercolours, pastels, some pads for wiping off weathering stuff, spare hose, just spare bits and bobs, my Proxons in there, spare brushes, etc, etc. We go over to my right, and right, the drawer over this side, a bit tighter than the other one. So we've got various tools in here I don't use all the time, but they still get used rather regularly. It's a little bit dark in there, so I'll pull out a little bit so you can see. You got some Tamiya files, that lovely file we sell at UMP now, absolutely loving that. Trumpeter chisels are awesome tools, very, very handy. We've got a reamer, the brand new scribing tool we sell at UMP as well, which is this. We've got a pin vise with pinning for scribing, Mission Models chisel, Tamiya razor saw, Swan Morton handles with accurate armour razor saws in. Got the JCL razor saw there, lovely bit of kit that one. The Tamiya huge razor saw, which is very useful, and some metal rules in there as well. We've got some Rosie the Riveters, excellent, not cheap, but well worth the money if you can get them. Very high quality tools. We've got Tamiya photo etch bender, 0 PE pliers, a very unusual pink tool there, which is used for doing super glues, I know. Tamiya P scriber, Tamiya scissors, Tamiya photo etch scissors. We've got some MDC scribing tools, riveting tools, some Alpha cutters at the back, and that's it really. So they're all the tools I don't use all the time, but they get used quite regularly. In here we've got sundries, so we've got everything from CA glues, leveling thinner, kicker, glues, extra thin, Tamiya X20, masking tapes, loads of them, filler, you name it, in there. And the bottom one is full of all zero paints, clear coats, polishing compounds, detailing bits and bobs for cars and bikes. And the only one over here we're showing really is my sanders, so obviously UMP sanders in there. And over here the cameras all live in there, all my bike aftermarket's in there, and all my scratch building stuff is in that one. I'm not even going to open it because it's an absolute nightmare. More of the stash down there as well, the bigger kits. So 12 scale Ferrari Enzo from Tamiya, my Perfect Grey Gundam, the Heinz behind there, SU-24, SU-25, my Helldiver from HPH, and a few other bits and bobs as well. Underneath here, you're not really going to be able to see, but these are all works in progress. So there's the Super ready for the build, the 109, the Kraz, and a few other bits and bobs under there as well. And that's it really. So they're all the tools and bits and bobs that are around me. Like like I say, up above we've got all the paints and that, which I'll go through in a little bit. In fact, I'll go through them now. So paints, extra acrylics, the yellow lidded ones over there, they're Hannon's own range of paints. They're a fickle paint to use. They take a little bit of getting used to, but once you get the hang of them, they are absolutely fantastic. Very good matches for RLM, BS colours, so on and so forth, but they can be a little bit finicky to get used to them. Thankfully, UMP Thinner absolutely loves them, and it really does improve how they work. And I do use them from time to time. They are a favourite of mine, not used as much as they should be. My metal paints, so we've got alkalids at the top, extreme metals on the third shelf down, and fourth shelf. And you can't really see at the back, but there's Mr. Hobby Super Metallics behind the little dog puppet, and the buffables behind that as well. Used to be a fact that I'd use the alkalids as a go-to, but more and more liking the extreme metals, and loving those Mr. Hobby Super Metallics as well. I have a review to Super Metallics on the channel somewhere. They're a very, very good paint, but a little bit delicate. If you need to mask, they're not the best to use. Extreme metals are fantastic. They're enamel, and obviously you've got the lacquer-based alkalids. So I use them all. You've seen the effect I can get on my bikes, and they're very good as well. My Star Destroyer there as well from Rebel. Mr. Hobby Aqueous, excuse the glare, because that is the light I use when filming. Big 5-foot daylight tube. Mr. Hobby Aqueous, so they're my go-to paints. I've been using those for about 5 years now, 4 or 5 years. Absolutely love them. They do nearly every colour you could really need. Thin with UMP, they were fantastic. And then Mr. Hobby Leveling Thinner, they're great as well. Different uses for different times. You know, if it's a hot day, I'll chuck a bit of Leveling Thinner in. Or, you know, 90% of the time I'm using Mr. UMP. But they're awesome paints, like I say. Most colours there that you need. Underneath, we've got some Mr. Colour. So they're the, excuse me, they're the lacquer-based version of the Mr. Hobby Aqueous. So we've got some sets there for aircraft. Then we've got some Gundam as well in the yellows and blues. Some Citadel metallics there as well. Then I've got the full range of MIG panel line washers for aircraft. And my own homemade oil washers, like I said. So vast array of weathering products, UMP washers, UMP primers, and so on and so forth. Back to where we were before. And like I say, the oils over there as well. Weathering pigments, etc, etc. Also on the bench, I've got my weather station and my Ayrton Senna helmet as well. Big fan of Ayrton Senna, as a few of you know. And like I say, that's the workbench and everything around it. What I'll do, I'm going to click the camera up over the top and we'll have a look at the actual tools I use on a day-to-day basis. So I'm just going to grab them as they are. This is the cup I've got. So in there we've got UMP sanders. So all our full range of sanders, which are excellent. So if we get all those out of the way, we can deal with the tools. So yeah, all my sanders there, all well used. Absolutely love our sanders. We've got grits for everything now, rather than 2 new ones. Absolutely superb. We've got my Flexifile CA applicator. Very cheap tool, but very handy. Forked end. You can get your CA glue exactly where you need it, no problem at all. We have the cheaper Tamiya side cutters, which I use for cutting plastics, wood, wire, etc. They were my go-tos at one point, but found much, much better ones in the meantime. Speaking of which, there's my Tamiya side cutters. Again, not a cheap tool, they're about £25, but absolutely superb. I've used the Zoron Pros and the Tamiya ones, and I think I much prefer the Tamiyas, I really do. Again, you're going to see a theme on Tamiya because they're the tools I like to use. So knives, you've got my normal snap-off knife is a Tamiya craft knife, and my 2 actual scalpel blade type knives are the Tamiya craft knives as well. So you've got the Tamiya modeler's knife and the design knife as well. One's got a bigger blade than the other, as you can see. They're actually produced for Tamiya by Olfa. If you know Olfa, you know they produce very high quality cutting implements. The blades aren't that expensive to buy. They're quite easy to get as well. And for me, I've tried them all. Nearly every knife I've got X-Actos, Swan Mortons, all the way through the range. And I just prefer the Tamiya ones. Absolutely love them. So again, we've got a Tamiya photo etch chisel file there as well. So it's a bit dirty, but it's a diamond file. Again, works absolutely excellent on photo etch. Really gets rid of those burrs nice and quick. Tamiya tweezers. So we've got the Pro pointed type and the decal ones as well. I do have a curved pair as well, but they're in with my RC stuff at the minute because I wasn't using the modelling. And again, they're not cheap. They're going to cost you £10 to £15 in the UK, but they're going to outlive other tweezers tenfold. They're so well made. Just look how thick the end is. They don't bend, they don't distort. nothing at all. And the decal tweezer's got nice broad points on, so ideal for picking decals up without damaging them. Absolutely superb. Got the Tamiya pin vise. As you can see, these tools are dirty, they are well used. This is the ball race pin vise, which actually needs a bit of lube by the feel of it. Again, not a cheap tool, but high precision, high quality as well. And then we've got my little metal rule, a Tamiya starer, and my little putty knife as well. And that's about it in there, so I'll chuck all those back in. I'll just push them over there out of the way for you. Second one is, right, so what have we got in there? We've got all my metallic pencils, Prismacolor, all different colours, black, grey, silvers. They're a lot ideal for weathering things, so you know, run along the edge and you get a nice edge on them. We've got some Sharpies, because they're always handy in modelling. We've got a silver metallic pen as well. A couple of other weathering pens, and these as well. I've not actually used these properly yet. These are the Mr. Hobby cement pens, so it's a normal nib. You press down it, you get some glue, and you glue things on it, but I've not actually used them yet. I did plan on reviewing them, I never got around to it, so I need to test those properly. Never really tested them. Another pencil, just your normal 3B pencil, excellent for weathering as well. And one of my favourite things I found out a couple of years ago are the water pens. Now what are these? These are the water pens used by watercolour artists. They fill them with water, so out and about they can blend their paintwork, pencil drawings, etc. My buddy Matthew put me onto these. Fill them with your decal solutions, and they're just perfect. They hold the solutions fine, they don't leak out. They've got a very nice broad brush on them, and you literally squeeze it to get some liquid out, brush it on your decal, job done. You can throw them around on the bench, they don't spill, they don't leak. Awesome. So top tip from me, these Derwent water pens, you get them from Hobbycraft, any hobby store, Amazon, eBay, a lot. Now I've got the Derwent ones, these are a bit more expensive, but these have not leaked on me yet, and they're awesome. I've got my cassette, Sol, and Solverset in there, which are my go-to decal solutions. You didn't see them out because they're in here. So awesome. These are fantastic. One of my best tips I've ever had in this hobby. So that's the second cup. That's an ISM cup, by the way. And the first one's an At the Bench with Paul mug. Woohoo! We've got my water pot as well, full of UMP airbrush cleaner. This is a Citadel one. You can't get them anymore, unfortunately. But it's great because these little notches hold your brush and don't let them touch the bottom, but keep them in the cleaner, so very handy. And my last pot, which is a UMP one. In here we have weathering brushes. So these are all used for weathering, oils, pigments, everything, you name it. And some scratch wheel material. Like I said, I've got scratch wheel material over there in a drawer. I've got a ton of it. But these are all my most commonly used pieces for filling, gap filling, scratch building, etc. So they're just kept out over there, out of the way. So there's all the tools over there. So they're all my commonly used tools. All the other bits and bobs that I use on a day-to-day basis. We're just going to quickly throw all these back in when I'm talking. Anything that's not used regularly goes in the drawer that I just showed you as well. And what I'll do quickly is I'll take you over to the spray booth and show you all the equipment I use for spraying as well. Right, okay, over in my spray booth. So that's a Graphic Air A300S. I think it's changed its name now to BV300DS or something. It's a bench vent. Excellent spray booth. I've had that now for, my god, it must be 4 or 5 years old now. Vents outside there through the hose at the top. It really does work well. As you can see, it's a well-used filter at the minute. Needs changing, so I will get around to it. I use a Bambi compressor. I did have a Sparmax, but I got a Bambi at an amazing deal, second-hand on eBay, so couldn't pass it up. So that's what I use. This is a built surround made out of foam board. It costs £10 to build. Makes the working area a bit bigger and stops the overspray going around everywhere. So as you can see, it really does add to the area. On top we've got 2 Siesto triple tube lights. I meant to say there's 2 over there as well. You can get these from CPC Farnell. Again, I've been recommending these for years. I think one of mine's nearly 7 years old now, and they're an excellent lamp. Really are good. I must have recommended people to buy hundreds of these things. Hundreds. Absolutely fantastic. So you sit on top, there's 2 there. Obviously my respirator's there. It's a 3M respirator as well. And then bits and bobs in the spray booth. So we've got UMP primers at the top. Got some Mr. Surfacer there. We've got my clear coats and varnishes. So dual coat, my favourite one. GX100 and Tamiya X22 for gloss. And some of the matte stuff I tried, it seemed to work okay at first, but it seems to stay tacky, so not too sure on that one at the minute. In the tubs next to it, we've got some Tamiya spray paints, a bit decanted. No, well, they have off-gassed. They're ready to go. Down the bottom, we've got some more thinners, cleaners, clear coats, so on and so forth. And some of the cardboard par holding tool boxes, I suppose you call them, are there as well. The working area, the airbrushes, which we'll go through in a minute. We've got medicine cups, perfect for mixing painting. Absolutely love them with some lids as well. We've got some cotton buds, cocktail sticks, all the airbrush lids. I've got more lids than airbrushes out at the minute because some of the airbrushes are away. Thinners, cleaners, etc. So you got UMP thinner, cleaner, cellulose thinner, and Mr. Hobby self-leveling thinner as well. My airbrush cleaning pot, which is filthy as you can see. A bowl for tipping away excess paints, and my Badger paint mixer as well. Another invaluable tool, comes in very, very handy. Again, a lot of people say, oh, you go with a frother. You can to a degree, but I do prefer the Tamiya, the Badger mixer myself. We've got the Mr. Hobby bottle opener there and there, some masking tape, and a few bits and bobs as well. Over here we've got all my spare paints, as you can see, a whole drawer full of them because I keep buying them without realising I've already got them. Got aqua gloss, dull coats, more Mr. Surfacer, GX100, just a whole plethora of different paints. They're my favourite word at the minute. All the way through. Next one down is gloves, airbrush boxes, so on and so forth. Spare brushes in there as well. I've got quite a few. Given a few away to friends, loaned some out as well. So the current airbrushes I'm using at the minute. First off, for cars, bikes, large areas, I've got my Mr. Hobby PS290. This has got the Iwata grip on it as well. Cracking airbrush. There's a review of all these airbrushes on the channel, and absolutely love this. It's a fan pattern spray. It does need a good source of air, hence the Bambi compressor. It really does it's a bit of an air hog, but absolutely fantastic for large areas. Nice big colour cup, nice wide fan pattern, and trigger action as well. Really does make it nice and easy to use. We have the, obviously, UMP Apex. This is my workhorse of an airbrush at the minute. It gets used for nearly everything. Clear coats, primers, all sorts of stuff. Anything that I don't want to go through my finer tip brushes goes through the Apex. It's an awesome airbrush for the money. Really is hard to beat. So check it out. We sell it on our website. Oh my god, a shameless plug. But it is an awesome airbrush. Oh, super easy to clean. Really nice and easy to clean and maintain. And a very, very good airbrush. My all-round airbrush I use for just general painting is my Iwata HPC Plus. Lovely airbrush. I've had the HPCH before, which I think my mate Nige currently has. I've lent out to him. It's got a Mac valve on it, that's the only difference. I don't use the Mac valves and they tend to get in the way, as you'll see in a minute, on my airbrush holders. This is the exact same brush, it's a lovely brush. Iwata do make great airbrushes, so that's one of my go-tos. We also have, you have to excuse me because I need two hands for this one, there we go. My Iwata Custom Micron CMC Plus. Lovely airbrush, anything that needs super, super fine detail, this is my go-to brush. Not cheap at all, these are virgin on £400 now. But it will literally put the dot on an eye. It's an absolutely beautiful airbrush. And like I say, use it for mottling camo work or anything that needs super, super fine detail. That is my go-to brush. Oh, needs a bit of a clean on the front there, didn't see that. But lovely, lovely brush, absolutely fantastic. And for my metalworks, I've got my little Iwata HP M2. Cracking little single action brush. I use it for my alclads, extreme metals, so on and so forth. And it's a lovely little brush, it really is. Great. So there you go, they're all my go-to airbrushes, all 5 of them. I've got others as well, but they kind of carry over from what we've got, and to be honest, most of them have been lent out to friends or given away to people because I wasn't using them basically. So they're my go-to airbrushes. Like I say, I got the stand there, which isn't a part of that. It was a Sparmax stand which just ironically fits in the top, so kill two birds, one stone, got them to fit in there. And at the back we've got some cleaning brushes, starers, a couple of sanders, so on and so forth. So there you go. Right, there we go. There's a look around my cave and everything I use on a day-to-day basis. Like I said, I spend a lot of time in here. This is my my cave, my place to get away, and I love it in here. Absolutely love it. I hope you answered a few questions over the things I like to use. tools, supplies, the way I do things, the way it's set up and laid out, and hopefully people find it interesting and useful. I get asked all the time about what airbrush I use, paint brushes, paints, fillers, everything, and hopefully that answers a few questions of what I use. If it's not out on the bench, I more than likely don't use it. If it's away in the drawer, it doesn't get used as regular. The tools that you saw in the top drawer, bit of an exception, they're special tools. But hopefully, like I say, it helps, and that's it. No idea how long I bladdered on for. Hope it wasn't too long. And there you go. So thanks for watching. As always, check out the International Scale Modelers forum, inscalemodeler.com. Facebook page, International Scale Modeler, massively busy Facebook page and forum. Very friendly atmosphere. Come over and join us, say hello. You're on the channel now. Subscribe to us, leave us a comment, leave us a thumbs up, thumbs down. Let us know what you think, what you'd like to see. I read every single comment. Everything gets read. And like I say, we do value your guys' opinion. Share the video around if you want as well. We like promoting you guys, so feel free to promote us as well. And obviously check out umpretail.com, mine and Lee's business, Ultimate Modelling Products. Have a look at our website. We've got everything on there you could possibly need modelling. And obviously check out Friday nights live at the Bench Show, 7:30 UK, 8:30 Europe, 1:30 Central US. We have a live show every Friday, looking at new kits, what we've been working on, what we've been buying, having a look at your work on the forum. We have free prize giveaways as well. And this Friday, we've got a very special charity auction for Models for Heroes. So head on over on Friday. We've got 25 lots of modelling products, kits to auction off, and all the proceeds will be donated towards Model for Heroes, helping in service and ex-service servicemen and women with issues like PTSD by making them, giving them the opportunity to model and take their mind off things. We all know how good a distraction this hobby is, so it's a very worthy charity. We're trying to combine efforts as I said at the minute, so you can donate direct to Models for Heroes, any kits you've got, supplies, flying hours, anything you've got at all. Go to their website and all the details are on there. You can buy cups, badges, etc. from Malcolm. What we're trying to do at the minute, though, is we've got an email address set up for donations to collect through ISM to see what we can get as a combined effort. So the email address for that is in the description down below. So far, we've got £550 with this auction on Friday. I'm hoping we're going to get a lot more money than that. I really am. It's a very worthy charity, and it deserves our support. So there you go. Malcolm was interviewed on Friday's show just gone. So if you want to go and see that, look at that. It's on the channel. Great interview. Really great guy. Doing something absolutely fantastic for the hobby and for our service personnel as well. Absolutely awesome. And there you are. So, as always, I'll see you next time. Take care and bye-bye.